So, a guy that you're dating or the guy that you have a crush on rejected you. Maybe he friend zoned you. Maybe he ghosted you, did some slow fading away from your life. Or maybe he says that he just not that into you. Whatever that reason is, I know that rejections hurt, especially when it comes to relationship, especially when it comes to your love life, and especially when it's coming from a guy. Like, how could he say no to this package, you may be thinking? And whenever a woman get rejected, we can try to cope it in so many ways, but regardless of how you're trying to cope, you will find that thought of the rejection, you will find that the rejection somehow still hurts you. You will feel that it's still haunting you. Even though you try to move on, maybe you still have feelings for him. Maybe even if you don't, it messes up with your self confidence. It messes up with your ability to find love. It makes you doubt, makes you think on whether someone else would finally accept you or love you or value you. I know that rejection is more than just like some people may say that, like, oh, just get over him, you find a better person, right? Because it's deeper than that. Your heart, your soul, they're feeling things that are deep down within. You can't just try to get over rejection with a mindset shift. You can't just get over by trying to suppress the thoughts. And which is why it is so important that whenever you're getting over a rejection, it's important that you don't do any of these things before we talk about how to actually get over a rejection. So, to understand this on a deeper level, we're going to talk about what not to do, how not to handle a rejection. Because this is a common mistake that I see so many women making out there, and I've also made that a fair share of that myself. So I totally understand. So, when it comes to rejection, and this is often not a conscious choice, it happens almost like unconsciously based on how you are wired, how your subconscious is wired to deal with a stressor, to deal with a rejection, to deal with like the pain or the being hurt, right? So we try to protect ourselves in so many ways. So when we get rejected, a part of you will try to protect you. And we do that protection on so many different ways. And for some of us, we do that by questioning ourselves, right? We doubt ourselves. So we think that we're not good enough. And so you may think that, oh, maybe because he rejected me because I'm not pretty enough. Maybe he rejected me because I'm not popular enough, or I'm not skinny enough, I am not sexy enough. Whatever that may be, you may be thinking that if I just change this one trait of mine, then I will finally get accepted, then I will finally get loved. And so what happens is when you go about in your life, even in terms of your future relationships, you will not have a peace of mind because you will be thinking that, oh, I just need to change how I look, or I just need to change the way I speak in order for the man or the guy to accept me, right? So you're going to be thinking that you need to deform yourself. So deforming is a form of a protection. And the thing is that as long as we are trying to protect ourselves, instead of like actually working with that pain of rejection, as long as we're trying to protect ourselves on another level, it's almost like when there's a rust going on, right? A rust is forming, and instead of actually like taking the rust out, you are putting another layer of paint. So the thing is that even if you're putting in more layers of paint, the rest is going to come out, right? It's only going to worsen underneath. So the thing is, when we are trying to deform, when we're thinking that we need to shapeshift ourselves, we need to deform ourselves in order to get their love and approval and not be rejected, that is still going to be the pain, giving you pain in the future, down the road, later down the road. And another way of how women try to deal with rejection is when we close up. When we try to form a distance between you and the person that rejected you, you and even men in general, you may be thinking that, oh, men are just stupid. They cannot see the beauty, or they cannot see so X and XYZ, right? You may be pointing the finger at them. But again, this is another level of protection, that where your heart hardens up. And when your heart hardens up, later on, future down the line, you're not going to be putting up yourself out there anymore, which also means that you're going to be blocking yourself from receiving love, receiving, having connection, because you're closing up, because you're afraid to lose, afraid to be rejected again. So that is another pattern of what we can do, and like, it's actually not going to serve us. And the other way on how many women try to go about rejection is when you try to overanalyze. I hope you can see this. So, overanalyzing. What does overanalyzing mean? So, you may be questioning by asking the guy, oh, why didn't you like me? What about me makes you not like me? Or maybe you may be over analyzing, looking at their profiles, seeing why they may have rejected. Maybe it's because his ex was really hot. Maybe he has XYZ, right? You try to think that the key to being accepted is trying to figure out another person. And again, this one is not going to work either. It's only going to make you walk on eggshells, be afraid to receive love whenever it comes to being connected with other people later down the road. And another way of how women try to get over rejection is when you pedestalize yourself. And I've done that in the past too, where once you get rejected, once you get hurt, you want to show them that it doesn't mean a thing on you, right? And you may try to dress up nice. You may try to look really hot, and maybe you want to make them jealous, or maybe you want to give a revenge on them. And so you post that picture of you, really a hot picture of you, and with some like cryptic Instagram caption messages, just so they understand that you are not hurt, right? Again, this is not going to work, because deep down, your heart is actually still feeling the pain of rejection. So even if you're trying to cover up, even if you're trying to have this persona of like, all is well, I'm not hurt, the thing is that that wound is still there. It's almost like this rust is still there, right? Even though you're putting on this coat, painting layer of it. And of course, lastly, we can try to numb the pain. We look at TV shows, or we binge food, we watch Netflix show, whatever that may be. You may try to numb the pain down, but neither of the thing is, what we want to understand is that none of these things are going to let go of the pain of rejection, let go of dealing with rejection. Because once you get afflicted by rejection later down, once we don't actually look into it, if you don't actually heal it, it's going to show up later down in your life. It's going to affect your future relationships. It's going to make you feel like you need to be walking on eggshells. You need to say the right thing, do the right thing, be good, be nice, or else you're not going to be feeling loved, right? Your love life, your relationships, and even in your career, everything is all interconnected. So you may be afraid of like clients rejecting you, job opportunities rejecting you, so you are afraid of putting yourself out there, and you're constantly trying to fix yourself. You're constantly thinking that there is something wrong with you and therefore you can never have peace. And so the way on how we shift that, the way on finally feeling peace, the way on finally feeling loved, even when you get rejected, right? Even when you get hurt. And I know that this hurts, is first to accept this pain, accept that yes, this rejection hurts, but also to understand that we give, we can own the most important rejection that can ever happen is that which we do to ourselves. So the greatest rejection is to understand, not just to understand mentally, but actually we want to experience have this inner experience that even if you get rejected, right, by other people, there is gonna be the one love, the one source. You can call that God, you can call that universe, you can call that your higher self. That is the one who will always be there, regardless of whether other people are rejecting you or not. It's almost like God, universe, the divine is like the sun. Right now, the sun is shining, and it doesn't matter if someone else is rejecting you. It's almost like there is a cover, maybe like above you, there is a roof. So it's protecting you from the sun, right? But the thing is, it doesn't, just because someone rejects you doesn't mean that there is no love, right? When you get hurt from a rejection, it's because of this illusion where you think that if someone else rejects you, it means that you don't have enough love. There is not enough love for you. It means that you are not loved. But the truth, what you want to actually experience, have this inner experience, is to realize that even if someone else rejects you, you are still loved. You are still worthy, because there is God, there is divine, there is universe. It's like the sun. The sun keeps on existing even if the clouds are causing shadows. It's the same thing. We want to have that inner experience. And this kind of like inner experience, this shift, is also something that I help you experience, like that shift, that transformation, that initial roadblock, moving through that. Like, you can book a free session, intro session with me. The link is in the description box. So once we have that shift, what we also then want to realize is also the fact that rejection hurts because you are thinking that someone else is better than you. It's like you're living in an illusion where you think that the other person is higher up than you, right? Higher up. So you're here, the other person is up there. And so when they reject you, it's gonna hurt more. And some other people, like, if you are not conscious, if you are not aware, you will try to move over the plane by trying to become the one who is higher, right? So imagine that, like, this is you right here. This is the other person that rejects you. And once you get rejected, once you feel the pain, you try to numb the pain, or you try to protect yourself from not being rejected again by putting yourself at an even higher pedestal, right? Maybe you try to achieve more than them. You try to earn more titles than them. You try to show them that, like, you have a better life than them, right? So as long as you are playing in this game of hierarchy where you think that someone else is better than you, or you are better than them, as long as you're playing in this game never ends, because this game always goes to the infinite. God has created this infinite thing, right? So there is always something on that you need to climb in order to not be rejected, in order to not feel the pain. But what we then want to realize is that the truth is that it's not a hierarchy. The truth is that we are equally loved by God, the divine, the universe. Everyone gets to receive infinite love. You are infinitely worthy as much as everyone else. And the question is not about whether you are good enough for someone or whether they are good enough for you. It's not a question of about if you have enough or if you do enough, right? Because the thing is that we are infinite beings, we are infinite creators, we are infinite sons and daughters of the Creator. But what we want to realize is that instead of thinking as this hierarchy, we want to understand it in terms of a diversity. So think of it that way. Whenever you feel rejected, the thing is that it's almost like you're a square peg and then he's a round hole, right? It's like trying to fit in a square peg to a round hole. If you try to fit in a square peg to a round hole, it's not going to work. They're not going to be fitting in. So it's not about trying to mutate yourself, trying to deform yourself so that they finally accept you, but it's about learning who you are. Instead of putting the focus on them, trying to finally be accepted by them. Instead, it's about learning who you are, realizing who you are. Because when you realize who you are, then you also know who would be a match to you. So rather than trying to love life is actually not about figuring things out and trying to overanalyze and trying to find these cryptic messages, right? Instead of, it's a common thing that I see a lot of things out there in the YouTube. A lot of teachings are like how to understand him, how to try to know him. But the thing is that the source is you. The real source of love is you. And it comes down to focusing on you. When you focus on you, when you see that, when you know who you are, then you also know what you're a match for, right? What you're a match for naturally becomes a byproduct of knowing yourself. It's a byproduct of you being yourself, you being true to yourself. So the only quest here, it's not about trying to figure out the another person. It's not about how do I not get rejected again, but it's about understanding yourself. And when you truly see yourself, love yourself, accept yourself, know yourself, that is when you realize that like rejection is just like, it's just a natural product in the universe. It's almost like a leaf falling. It's as simple as like a leaf falling, and they don't, instead of falling into the river, they fall into the ground, right? So instead of trying to become so triggered by it, you're going to be looking at it from a neutral perspective, that it's just that the universe is working through you, like through the person, in order to bring the right match in together and let go of the ones who are not. And that, my love, is the real way on how to have peace when you get rejected by a man, by your partner, and to feel that unconditional love that always exists. Much love. My love, if you're resonating with this video and you want to have more peace and fulfillment in your relationships, book a free intro session to find out the inner shift that your soul is asking you for in order to transform. The link is in the description box below.